Okay, so this is 2D16. It's basically a USB symbol. We're going to start with, let me kind of zoom in here for a second. Basically, we want to start with the center lines first, and then we're going to use offset in order to create the white lines. All right, so it says scale 1 inch equals 7 inches. So I'm going to take my title block, use the scale tool to scale it up by 7. I'm not going to draw inside of it, but just know that it's the right size right there. All right, let's start with properties purple, line type center. I got to load it up because here we go. Let's do that again. Load. Okay, so first line is 60 based off that top dimension right there. I got to set my polar tracking. I'm going to set it to 45 because in this drawing there's a 45-degree line. So this is 60. All right, does anyone remember how I changed the spacing of these?
Of what?
LTS, which stands for line type scale. It's set to 1. I'm going to change it to 5. See how that looks. Maybe 3. That looks better. Okay, so I've got a line that's 60. From here, I'm going to go over 15 and then up this direction. Okay, so I just started. I drew a line on top over 15 based on that. Now I'm going to go up at this. 2x means it happens twice. So this 16 is the length of the line here, and the angles for those are both at 45. So I've got my polar tracking set to 45. All I have to do is type 16 this way, and then I'm going to come over 10. And I basically stopped it right there. I didn't continue it because I'm going to put a circle right here in a few minutes. So then I'm going to start a new line from this position, go over 10, and then come down at an angle 16 again. And then I'm going to come over 15. That'll get me to the end point of that rectangle right there. Okay. Now I'm going to create some shapes. I've got a circle that goes here with the radius of 5. I've got a circle that goes here with a radius of 3. I've got a box or a square that's 5 by 5. So I'm just going to draw it out here, 5 by 5 by 5 by 5. Except I'm going to make it straight this time, 5, 5, 5, 5. And I made this line 15 right here, so when I move this box, make sure you grab the right midpoint and put it there. And then I've got a triangle out here. Now here's a trick for the triangle. Make a 5 by 5 box because it says 2.5 from the middle down. So just make a 5.5 box and draw a line from end point to midpoint like that, and there's your triangle. You can trim this stuff off or use erase. Okay, and then the end of this triangle goes to there, and that's basically all of those shapes. I think hopefully they're in the right locations. This is 10, yeah, 16, 16. I have a couple lines on top of each other right here, so I'm just going to use the delete tool to delete both of those. That way my center lines look good. Okay. Now the gap between white line to white line is 1.2, so I want to offset my purple line up and down half of 1.2. What's half of 1.2? 0.6. So if you use the offset tool, set it to 0.6, go up and down for each one of these. That will give you your white lines. Down, up, down. I'm going to use MA enter, which is match properties. Click something white, and then click on all of these lines, and that will make them white or by layer. Okay. Got some trimming to do, but I'm not going to do that. I have some curves on here that I didn't mention what the radius of them are. The radius for all these curves are 5. So I'm going to use the fillet tool, fillet with a radius of 5, and then just click on, actually we probably need to trim beforehand, that way that doesn't happen. So let's do TR, enter, enter, and just go ahead and trim everything up. That way we don't run into that problem there. So I'm just trimming all my little white lines back a little bit so they're a little cleaner. Trim, 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 trim. I guess I could go ahead and trim these two. Trim those in the box. This goes away, this goes away. That looks okay. I could trim this and this, but I don't think it matters. This is important that I trim that, and this is important that I trim that. This doesn't exist right here, so I can get rid of that. All right, so back to fillet. F enter, R enter, 5 enter. Click here to here. Now it doesn't erase that line that goes over on that side. This also gets curved up there with the fillet. This also gets filleted. I missed a trim right here, so I'll go ahead and hit that while I'm up there. Fillet again. Click, click. Am I missing anything? Little trim right there. What am I missing?
The one going from the square to the square. You got to fill it that one corner.
You got it. Fillet right there to there. Okay. And that's it. There's kind of a weird dimension right here, this 2x16. I'll go over that real quick. Make sure you use an aligned dimension for that. Any line or dimension that goes at an angle, you need to use the dimension or the aligned dimension for that. Put in an X, title it, or center it in the title block, add the dimensions, and that's that one.